Zach, let me ask you, what originally got you into the field of mathematics?
Okay, I think this is a hard problem.
It is.
Call it a problem, not a question.
I was thinking about it, and I just keep going further back in time.
Mm-hmm.
Then, like, I could say, oh yeah, doing my PhD, that was really when I was doing mathematics.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, doing my undergrad, I switched over from engineering into pure mathematics. And even before that, my experiences of like childhood when I'm solving puzzles and doing these books of things that are like Sudoku, these type of logic game puzzles, maybe that's like what got me into math. That
So
I have
kind of
some
like
kind of game.
Was it stimulated like by your parents, or was it like from you?
Oh,
you
no,
went out
they
and
didn't.
bought your puzzles.
I mean, someone gave them to me. I think a lot of times my grandma, something for me to do.
Puzzles always.
They
nice.
were puzzles that like were logic related. So sometimes like logic grid, like these people live in these houses and how are they related and what
Yeah.
do you figure out? And sometimes things where you're filling in numbers, but never anything that was like school math.
Never
Always
anything. Yeah.
like I get the feeling from the same feeling from doing a Sudoku, where the numbers don't actually matter. What matters is if this is true, then this other thing.
Kind of
has
like
to happen.
intuition, like you can like kind of like apply your thinking without really having a good knowledge of the scenario, right?
I don't. I
Is
think
that
the
right?
opposite.
You think the I would think like it is more like related to just you thinking logically and less of knowing. Is
Yeah,
that
but
not
that's less
intuition?
intuition.
I
It's-
agree
it's
with
not-
that.
More
yes.
intuition.
I think it's more like you think a little bit deeper. It's not like, oh, I see the answer. You know, you go one step at a time and say this follows logically from this, and then you keep going.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's also a
Alright.
valid way to think about it. Sure.
My intuition would be like, I just put whatever numbers anywhere. I need a grid full of numbers. But really, I need like
guess that's
follows the logical rules.
Yeah.
And my guess is, I don't know that they're correct.
So that's probably where I can see how that can be like a starting point for a lot of mathematicians, like with
Of course.
base logic, like because like a little bit of philosophy in there too, like a little bit of why do these numbers work this way and why does this block in Sudoku work, kind of thing, like a simple question like that. You know, you can extend it, always generalize it to higher orders when you get older. But just starting with that
Or
base,
anytime.
or
Anytime.
I guess anytime.
You
But-
always get older, right? In the
Yeah.
future. So
I guess. Well, so we've established that the Sudoku probably got the math into you.
The
But, like,
logic.
or
the logic,
behind the
right?
logic.
The logic
and
into you.
totally divorced from math. So,
So
like,
I guess, yeah, I guess. So
when I
also
did
logic
math
very
in
similar.
school,
Yeah.
I would do well. And I think mostly it was from just having logic and not really like familiarity with numbers or anything. But people would say like, you're good at math. And I go,
Yeah, I guess.
I
Are you
guess.
familiar with Olympiads?
tests.
Are you familiar with Olympiads?
So until grade 5, I had no kind of contest anything. I moved to a new school, and there was a dedicated math teacher, and she said, hey, we run this math contest club. Do you want to come and try these out at lunchtime once a week? And so I did, and it was all like older students, grade 7 and 8, and we just, work on things that were kind of like puzzles.
Yeah, that's
And I
basically
thought, this
what
is
they
great.
are. Yeah.
And then I did the test, and I did great, and I was like the top scorer in my region.
Wow.
I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
nice. What's that mean? And
No, wow, that's actually
you get a
really
little
impressive.
prize.
Yeah.
You get some money, and I went, cool, I'm in.
Cool.
Let's do this again. Then when I was in grade 7, this sort of screwed up all my math education. I was in a split class, grade 7, 8.
Okay.
The teacher noticed I understood the math things and that I would also understand the grade 8 part. So we just said, why don't you just do the grade 8 test? You can get the grade 8 credit early. Have a spare or something next year.
Why not?
And I said, okay, sounds fine. We had a parent-teacher interview. I talked to my parents who was like, you should be doing more advanced math. And they were like, we don't know any. What can you do? And he was like, we can offer grade 8. And they were like, cool. We're in. Will it cost us anything? No, we're in. Then my grade 8 teacher said, well, it's silly for you to do grade 8, and I'm not going to have you sit here and do nothing all class, so you're going to go over to the high school and take a grade 9 math.
Wow.
And she arranged for that to happen, and thanks, Miss Darlington. From then on, I took math with people a year older than me every year. So I didn't know anybody in the math classes. I would do math before my peers. I would never talk to them about math. And it really derailed my math experience.
So that's kind of a part of it, a big part of it.
But for sure, that was an aspect that made me go, okay, I can do math.
But when you were doing it with the older kids, like, did that inspire you or did that demotivate you that, oh, my friends aren't here? Or were you thinking like, oh, I'm in this big boy class? Like, what way did you think about it?
I guess
Like glass half full
I
or
was
glass half empty?
thinking I get a free credit. I get an extra spare in grade 12.
That's how you're thinking.
I'll get this done now so I don't have to do it later. That math classes were not very inspirational at all.
Yeah, so it wasn't really oh, I really like it. It was just, hey, I'm good at it, so I'm just
No,
gonna
it
do
was
it.
a thing I could do.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I never really
So the
liked it.
passion for math hadn't still really come out yet, or was it there? It was just never in school.
I guess, yeah, it was there and it was not in
It
school.
was just not in school.
I would still write contests.
I can see a lot
I
of
still
people
did
with that,
well
yeah.
in these contests. I had I'm from Durham region, which is a little away from Toronto, and does not have like exceptional math students. So being on the top of my region wasn't like, oh, I'm crushing it. But I got, in my last year in high school, I got an invitation to a national math camp. That's like, we picked 50 people from around Canada. Everybody comes to Ottawa.
Oh, wow.
You hang out with other
from
high school
Ottawa.
students, and you get to do cool, fun stuff with these like math professors from University of Ottawa. And that was great. Then I was like, oh, math is fun.
Yeah.
You can do these interesting things. There are other people who also have this logical way of thinking about puzzles, and you get to have fun.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
think when you meet people
a
like
start.
that, yeah.